Om Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashyakrito Vande Bhagavanto Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahavi Karavavahi Tejasvinavadhitamastu Om Shanti Shanti. Why the word Ananda? Is used by the Vedanta Shastra as an end to be accomplished. Because that's what we are after. But then the word that we use for happiness, experiential happiness, in different degrees, we have various words. Pleasure, being pleased, satisfied, contentment, all happiness. A state of contentment, a state of being pleased. And then you have happiness, the word, joy, ecstasy, elation, then finally bliss. Should this, then that is B capital and BALISS, or both, all of them capital. So we don't know what to say. So these are all experiential happiness. We can't say anything more, and therefore B capital, L capital, I capital, S capital, S capital. Then you will imagine that there is some happiness. So this imagination is fully expressed in the Shastra. It's wonderful. I'm going to analyze that for you. And it is the imagination running riot. And we do this all the time. Shastra also tells you that these are all things that you can imagine. It tells you, and that is the calculus of Ananda. Before we enter into that happiness being used as an end to be accomplished, so the end to be accomplished happiness, it should be everlasting. It should not depend upon any situation, and it should not be bound by time. That is why everlasting. So that means it cannot be born of a condition of mind, which again happens because of a situation conducive. And therefore, it is a condition of mind. And this condition of mind is inhibited condition of happy mind, and less inhibited condition of happy mind, and more inhibited and less inhibited, but we have words for all that, happy mind. So happy mind, but inhibited, more inhibited, like happy hour. So that is 1 hour. So you are either inhibited or more inhibited or less inhibited. So if you are fully drunk, no inhibition at all. And so you can even drop your clothes and walk. And so that's the totally free from inhibition, that is Ananda. That's why it's called happy hour, 1 hour. And so this is all word. This is the word, experiential word. We are all hooked onto it. Therefore, there is a truth in this. This truth is going to is explained. One thing is very analyzing our pursuit of happiness reveals to us what we pursue should be one not dependent upon any situation and not bound by time. If that is so it has got to be me. It cannot be other than me. If an object wants to be sweet, think of it. It wants to be sweet. Then I ask the object, so what do you want? I want to be sweet. Okay. So you want to be sweet? Yes, I want to be sweet. When do you want to be sweet? When? Now. Now I want to be sweet. Now means what? Only now? No, no. 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 I want to be sweet forever, okay? Today I want to be sweet, tomorrow also I want to be sweet. Now, forever I want to be sweet, okay? Then, where do you want to be sweet? Wherever I am. Inside the container, outside the container. Okay? So, inside the container, outside the container, I want to be sweet. So, this object is within a container. And it says inside the container, that is its home. And inside the container, I want to be sweet. Outside home also, I want to be sweet. There are only 2 places in the world. One is home and outside home. Even though home is a rented home, but that doesn't matter. Wherever you are, that is your home. And therefore, outside home means outside the place where you live. So this inside home, I should be sweet. Outside home, I should be sweet. Then I asked her, so with whom you should sit in order to be sweet? Suppose you are sitting next to chili powder. Mula podi, chili powder. So chili powder next. Either tamarind sauce and this soya sauce. So do you want to then what they call this hot sauce? Tobacco, hot sauce. So sitting by whose side you want to be sweet? Irrespective of anybody, whether it is a tamarind or chili, I should be sweet. I should not mind anybody around me. Because if I have to choose one person in order to be sweet, then that person you will always find wherever you go. You have to find. That person is not found. That person walks away. And you cannot be always sweet because you can't be always at home. So you have to be outside also, you have to be inside also. So depending upon place, you can't say, I want to be sweet. If you want to be sweet, it should not depend upon place. If you want to be sweet, in all situations, you should not mind anybody around. And always sweet means, then time-wise, you should not be bound. Then I told, if this is what you want to be, I said, this is what you are. There is no other way. This is what you are. If you are already, you can afford to desire like this. Being ignorant, you can afford to desire like this because desire reveals your nature. Desire reveals your nature. You want to be sweet, then being sweet you will be at home. And you are, suppose you are sweet, when will you be sweet? As long as I am there, I will be sweet. Now I will be sweet, now I will be sweet, now I will be sweet, now I will be sweet. As long as I am there, I am sweet. Okay, that is true. I should be for that sugar crystal. If I am a crystal of sugar, I am sweet. Crystal, generally we have sugar crystals like that. Not single crystal. That's the same. I'm just talking of an object like, sugar crystal also object. Tangible. So you can understand that. Whole of sugar crystal is sugar, is sweet. Okay. Inside the dabba, outside the dabba, inside the container, outside the container. Sugar is sugar. Let it be here or there, it will be sugar. Even in your body, it will be sugar. And it will be sugar will be sugar. And so especially if you are diabetic, the sugar will be measurable. Okay? It's measurable sugar. It will show up in your blood. And therefore, sugar is sugar. Alright? Who should sit? I don't care. I am sugar. Anybody sitting me, I am sugar, I am sweet. Let there be chili powder and it will not make me hot. And if there is a sauce of bitter gourd, and I won't become, and sometimes bitter gourd also they make pickles. Do you know that? Bitter gourd pickle. Some people like all these things. And then they want to make me also like it. And so this is all missionaries. So these are all. This is next to me, next to sugar crystal. If these bitter gourd bits are there, I am not going to be embittered. Sugar crystal is not going to be embittered, no matter who is around me. I don't depend upon anybody for me to be sweet. This is sugar crystal talking, understand? Sugar crystal is telling, I don't care. If it knows, if it wants to be sweet, the manner in which it wants to be sweet, there is no other way of it being so except being the very thing it wants to be. What it wants to be should not depend upon time or place or situation. Desha kala nimitta anapeksham madhuryam. The sweetness is not dependent upon time, place and situation. Because that is its nature. That is why it wants to be so. That is why it doesn't want to be occasionally sweet. It is at home being sweet. So don't go away with the idea sugar crystal wants to be like this. It doesn't have a mind and therefore it has no confusion. That is, the confusion is our privilege. It's a human privilege. You should not give away this privilege to anybody else. And therefore, nobody else is confused, you are confused. Animals, to some extent, they get confused. they get confused also. In India, they say the snake is charmed by music. Snake is not charmed by music. Snake is not deaf, it has no ears. It has no ears, only vibrations. And then what about the snake charmer? It's not snake charmer. This is the Janata's charmer. Janata charmer. And then he just wants you to be charmed. Do you know what? He has got some musical instrument which is always made of this gourd, not big gourd. It's a small thing which has a bulge. It's a pipe, a bamboo pipe with a bulge. This is the instrument. And I assume that poor snake takes this for a mongoose. Why? Because these are all scientific. Why it's scientific? Suppose he comes and plays music, same music, with a flute or a simple straight pipe. The snake inside the basket will not get up. And it will not dance or anything. It doesn't care. But it cares because it is scared of mongoose. So from all this we understand this snake doesn't dance for your music. It gets ready to strike wherever the mongoose is. And therefore he plays the music just straight. And the snake will not dance. It moves, it's called snake dance. From there the Bharatanatyam people also have taken up. So snake dance. Like this they dance, some silly dance. The whole thing is wrong. Because the poor thing that's moving, not for the music. It moves wherever the snake. This fellow just moves. Then he can do this. Then that also will move. Then he will say Then he will show you how it also changes. So, because it keeps itself ready for a fight. Mongoose is arch enemy to snake. Mongoose will not eat the snake, but it will fight the snake and kill it. Sometimes it gets killed also. You understand this? You have to know this. So there are lot of in our understanding, lot of mistakes. There are so many, and they are all used by people. One mistake is used in Vedantic teaching also as an example. It's a mistake. Brahmara Kita Nyaya. This is another mistake. Just a drishtanta. They thought that that was current knowledge and therefore they used it for the teaching. It's not Vedanta. It is generally observed something and then they used it for teaching. What I say, so animals also get confused. It's not that human being, a conscious being can get confused. And we deliberately confuse them also. Like an angler, so catches the fish, confusing it for food, but it is a bait. It is food, but it is a bait. It doesn't know. Ajnana vashat. Baddho bhavati. Purely ajnana. If it knows it's a bait, it will not. It is lead. It's not only ahimsa, it is cheating. It is cheating. Not only himsa, it is cheating. You ask the fellow for dinner and you kill him. This is a meditated murder, premeditated murder. All these people, these angling people, they are cheating the fish. It's all, I find human beings are so cruel. And I read somewhere, so in a book, this fellow, the one who wrote a book, the road less traveled, a simple book, original book, and it was not a bad book. But then, the next book he brought in, that book was, he said in that book, there are people who are evil and there are people who are not evil. It is that fellow is a psychiatrist. Think of this. There are evil. And in that book he writes, you must have a pastime. And pastime, some kind of sports. Why should you not engage yourself in some sports? Like fishing. Okay? Like fishing, I was appalled. And fishing is a sport, it's a pastime. Consult the fish. How do you like that fellow's pastime? Not only they eat the fish, they cheat the fish. They make them nibble the bait and catch and eat. You understand this? This is premeditated murder. Therefore, what I say, confusion is for all conscious beings. Human confusion is complete, that's all. Because the fish is not confused about itself. But it is confused, it is ignorant of itself, it doesn't make any judgment. Therefore, no judgment about itself. I am a small fish, it's a big fish, look at that fellow. And this kind of a problem it doesn't have. That fellow is from the ocean, I am from a pond. Local village pond. He is an urbanite. ये सब नहीं है. But with Krishna we say he is Nagara. Giridhara Nagara. So Nagara Tagata. Nagara. He is an urbanite. So human beings have all these problems. Confusion is complete. Sugar crystal doesn't have any such problem. If I want to be happy, as I said all the time, in all places, in all situations, I must be like that sugar crystal. I must be that very thing I want to be. If you analyze the nature of happiness, it becomes more evident. It is true, a person has desires, and all desires finally are meant to make you happy. If you have a desire for some money, and if it is for security, and then if that security is for what? For my well-being, for my happiness. Therefore, everything you can reduce finally to happiness, and therefore, what you are seeking is happiness. You know, without knowing it, you can't seek. You desire for something that you know, Whether wrongly you know, rightly you know, but you desire for something you know. Like one desires for, heaven. Nobody knows directly and or indirectly, but indirectly means being told by somebody, but it is known being told by a book. By a book. And to that book you give veracity. You validate the book. You validate the book. It is not that book validates itself. It cannot. You have to validate the book. And once you validate the book and what the book says, then it becomes valid. Correct? You validate the book and then whatever the book says, then you follow. Like even you do. You say that he is a Guruji. He is my Guruji. And then once you say Guruji, then what all he says becomes real and becomes valid. Why? Because Guruji says. Once you say he is Guruji, and then whatever Guruji says becomes real. This is happening for a lot of people. If the Guruji knows his subject matter, it is a different thing. If he doesn't know, then Guruji's confusion is transferred to you. And therefore, so you are confused and you are also confused. And then confusion is called Anda Parampara. The blind leading the blind. It's a parampara. He says, the Hare Krishna people will say, to which sampradaya you belong. So once you say, I belong to other sampradaya, it is okay. It is okay to be a member of Acharya Sabha, okay? Not it is okay. For analysis, it is not okay. If you have to analyze, it's not okay. By saying sampradaya, they get accommodated. That is civility. For civility, for harmony, you accommodate, granting freedom for the other to have his own, her own belief. That is one thing. But to examine, without examination, acceptance of what is being said is not correct. That's not rational. That is irrational. And therefore, so a book is valid, and therefore anything it says is valid. Therefore you say there is heaven. And then there is something said about heaven and you go to heaven. A desire to go to heaven. These are long-term planning. You always have planning for retirement. This is after retirement, after total retirement. So this is a planning for after total retirement. In fact, the missionaries talk like that also. When they come and knock at your door, should you not plan for your future? No, I have a planned future. No, after death also you should plan. Why? Because you will go to hell. What is hell? Hell is a very hot place. Okay? Go to hell, I will air condition. You can't tell an American it is hot and all that you should not go. You will air condition and then go. His car is air conditioned, get out and then again get into air condition. Therefore, you cannot stop. You stop an American going anywhere. So you will go anywhere. Yeah. Once a devil found God. We don't accept devil. There is no devil, okay? If there is any one devil, that is one who talks about devil is the devil. There is no other devil. And therefore, there is only one Ishvara. There is no rival for him. And if there is another rival, then who is Ishvara will be a problem. He is Anishvaraha. So Ishvara means he has got to be. Anishvara, there is two meanings. He is not Ishvara, Anishvara. There is no Ishvaraha Yasya. He is Anishvara. Na vidyate Ishvaraha Yasya. The one who does not have a Lord, he is the Lord. Therefore, This is purely what they talk. I am talking in their language. Sometimes useful to dismiss, therefore I am talking. Sometimes to amuse ourselves also it is good. And so this is for amusement, early morning amusement. And that is, so morning amusement, not early morning, morning, for some people early morning. So, so this is this devil phoned the God. Then he said, this is devil speaking. Oh, you are still around. Yes, I am very much here. So what's happening there? Now it's getting better. My place is getting better. How? So these Americans came here and they air conditioned my place and I have got flush toilet and things like that. It's all beautiful now. I am very, it's very good. In fact, you should visit once here. And I've got a nice place for you. It's getting better now. And how you can have? You can't have like that. You are not supposed to have air conditioner. You are not supposed to have this kind of toilets and all that. No, you should not have. I'm going to sue you. Sue me. Sue me. I'm not afraid of you. Sue me. I'm going to sue you. Sue me. How will you find an attorney? All of them are here. No reflection on the attorney here. Okay. So having come here, you will go to heaven, don't worry. I promise you. We will go beyond heaven, don't worry. We believe in all this. People believe and invest from now on. And they come and knock at your doors and tell you, sell this idea. And people buy these ideas. Because you have got some idea about it. You can't desire for something you do not know totally. You only desire for something that you know. And that object that you know is meant for making you happy again. And therefore, happiness must be known. Without knowing what it is, what happiness is, or what makes you happy, you know that experience of happiness, you know. When you are happy, that's your experience. Therefore, experientially you have knowledge. But what does experience reveal? Only the existence of happiness. I, the person who is generally unhappy, who is struggling to be happy, is also happy occasionally. Therefore, happiness experientially known. And I want to experience happiness further. This is what, as I told you yesterday, more happiness, more depth, in terms of time, in terms of a certain freedom from depending upon external factors, I must be happy. Relatively. So this relative increasing measure of happiness is what we are all seeking. This is what we are seeking. But at the back of it is the desire to be. Relative means how much, if you ask. It becomes limitless. Time-wise limitless, place-wise no place should make any difference in my being happy. And that is exactly what I want. And that I want to accomplish in the relative world itself. And that the Shastra is going to point out that it is nothing shorter than, is nothing less than foolishness. Silly, It is very silly when we understand that we are seeking like this all these years. That is in the wake of understanding. Otherwise, sab acha hai. All is well. All is well. That everybody, whatever that is followed by everybody. That is all. All follows the same thing, therefore all is well. So this pursuit of happiness is because I know that I can be. This happiness. If you know something to its full measure, and you cannot settle for anything less. This is my logic. If you go to a dinner, being invited by a couple at their house, at their home, and you go for a dinner, and the host, the lady of the house, so she has cooked herself, and then you praise after eating. So you don't say it was interesting, and you say, oh, it was wonderful, you have cooked so well, and it is so nice and all that. She was always apologetic. She is a good cook. And then she was very apologetic, no, and all that. Why? Because she knows what all she can do if she had time, if she had prepared before, and if all the things that she requires are there, and all the things that she should not have around also are not there. One of them is husband. And therefore, so all these are conducive atmosphere was there, then she would cook. She would cook very well. But then she always says, very apologetic, no, so it's not that great, and so anyway. Why? Because she knows what she can do. Correct? A musician who has got a frog in his throat, and this guy is not able to reach the octave, and in a raga, when you elaborate a particular melody, you have to reach the octave. The panchama to panchama, you have to go. And the range is there. And unless you go there, you are not satisfied. But this man is afraid because of his throat problem. Therefore what he does, he just comes to that point. From there, he doesn't know whether he can go. He is doubtful. Suppose he goes out of Shruti. That's not a musician. Therefore he goes up to the point, and then all the audience is ready to receive what he is going to touch, and then he points out, there is the nishada. There is this nishada, this note is there upar. By doing this, you also appreciate that he also is vicariously satisfied that he has done it. Because he cannot be satisfied when he knows his height. Understand? You have the experience of being free from being a wanting person in the same world, under the same stars. You are happy under the same stars. Under the same stars you are unhappy also looking at the stars. Of these, which are the ones that made my life so unhappy? Because you believe in astrology. And therefore, so the same stars you are unhappy. Under the same stars you are happy. So that you can be happy is known to you. That is why nothing short of it is going to make you happy. And therefore happiness is an experience. Take it. I didn't do anything. So that I can be free in this universe, that happiness is, please just see this. If I am in this universe for a moment happy, then what separates me from what I face? Nothing. All that is there is one wholeness. This is experiential happiness. Experiential happiness itself reveals wholeness. But wholeness can never hide, because what cannot hide is wholeness. But it gets hidden. Then I begin searching for it. And afterwards I get something, a desire fulfilled. Then I become happy. Therefore somebody said, between the fulfillment of a desire and the rise of another desire, one is happy. May be true. May not be true. Because if the desire is fulfilled totally, you will be happy. Even totally fulfilled, you can become unhappy. You wanted this job, you applied for it, you pulled all the strings, and then you got the job. Then you must be happy. He was happy. He thought he got the job and he went to the office. Until he went to the office, job makes you happy means you should do the job and be happy. He went to the job, he went to this work, went to the workplace, and then he did the first day. First hour itself he understood, this is a mistake. This is not the place I can work. The boss is always behind you. And there is a supervisor. All these fellows you can't work with. Their expectations are too many. And the environment is no good. Therefore, oh no. First day itself, oh no. So he fulfilled the desire, became unhappy. Therefore, it's not always you go, all these beautiful brochures are there. So it's a tourism. Tourism leaflets, you should always be very careful. Because they take photographs when they only selectively. So outside the frame is a heap of rubbish here. All the junk is here. There is another junk. Yonder are the hills. These are all two small hills here. It is all, and the whole beach is strewn with all these plastic bags and Coke cans and all that. It's just dirty. But the picture is only between this nice, and remove all the things and clear the thing, that is the picture. Beautiful. Green water. Wow. Let's go. Go. Go there afterwards. What? Is this the place that we came? What? Didn't I tell you? So, ho gaya kaam. Therefore, all tourism promotion, whether it is a religion, theology, promoting tourism to heaven, आ जाओ, उधर जाएंगे, उधर सब कुछ अच्छा रहेगा. After joining there, you see this is all heaven. Hey, the place where I lived was better. And so you may say that, we don't know. It's all promised tourism. Here at least you can check up with somebody who went there. There you don't have any checkup. Therefore the bluff can be permanent. So it's a permanent bluff. Yeah? Don't think I'm making a joke, I'm serious. Because it's a non-verifiable belief. Whatever they say passes. Whatever they said is passes in your belief. That's it. All that you have to do is swallow. Whether it is an orange or a pumpkin or a tomato, simply swallow. Somehow you are able to, when if it comes from somebody and who has got all this hair, inflated hair, your jaws somehow expand and to allow a pumpkin to go inside very smoothly, and you buy the idea. So, wish fulfilled also one can be unhappy. Wish fulfilled one can be happy. Without fulfilling a wish also one can be happy. You don't require to fulfill a wish to be happy. A slapstick joke will make you happy. There is no problem. You can be happy even without a joke, I tell you. One person came and told me, Swamiji, the other day you told a story. Everybody laughed, I didn't understand what it was. Then suddenly, Swamiji, after a week, I was always thinking about it. What was that? What was that? What was that? And then when I was under shower, and I laughed. It just struck me what it was, and even water went into my mouth. I laughed. Then he said, Swamiji, it was really funny, it was wonderful. So that was a funny story, Swamiji. Then I asked him, what was the story? Please, I didn't remember what was the story. My whole life is story. And so where is the question of which Rama? I don't remember. I make up stories at the spot, On the spot, some stories old, some stories new. And therefore I don't know what is the story. I asked him what is the story. Then he said, oh, so what did you understand? Next I asked the question. What did you understand? Then he told me what he understood. Then I laughed. I laughed. If for one story, there are three laughters. One is everybody laughed. The other is this fellow laughed. And when he told, I laughed. When I tell this, you laugh. And nobody knows what is the story. And we are laughing. क्या बात है? It's amazing. How simple to make people laugh. No problem is solved. But we are laughing. Even who have got temple, this is what you call the dental complex. They are always tight-lipped. But then you can break through, have a breakthrough, and then make them laugh totally. Then they would remember that they had laughed, therefore. If you sit here only, you will understand all this. And therefore, what I say, that only points out, you don't require even a desire to be fulfilled in order to be happy. That means, without a change of any situation, I can be happy. I may have 1,000,000 desires, I need not fulfill any of them in order to be happy. It's a very big discovery. That gives me the thumb space. Now I have, so the whole expands for me to enter into this subject matter of Ananda. We'll look at it. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Harihi Om.